The fact that you feel the need to announce every small victory to the world is not a sign of strength. It is a scream for help from a starving ego. You are begging for the oxygen of public approval because you are suffocating in your own insecurity. Losers are always loud about what they are going to do, while winners are silent about what they have already finished. Your constant noise is a leak in your engine, draining the very power you need to actually arrive at your destination. Every time you open your mouth to brag, you are exhaling the fire that was meant to forge your future. Stop. You are making a fatal mistake right here. If you do not understand why your words are killing your drive, you will remain a hollow shell of potential forever. Every time you reveal your plans, your brain receives a cheap hit of dopamine as if you have already achieved them. You are tricking your biology into feeling satisfied before you have even broken a sweat. This is identity theft, and you are the thief stealing from your own future. You have traded the heavy, golden crown of actual achievement for the cheap, plastic applause of people who do not even care if you live or die. You are currently a walking advertisement for a product that does not exist. Shut your mouth and realize that your words are the enemy of your work. I look at you and I see a massive explosion waiting to happen, but you are letting the pressure out through your lips as harmless steam. Isn't it pathetic to watch your greatness evaporate into thin air just so you can feel important for 5 seconds? You have the capacity to shock the entire world, to move mountains, to become the elite version of yourself that haunts your dreams. But that power requires pressure, and pressure requires a closed seal. You are currently a broken pipe. Stop talking. Stop posting. Start feeling the weight of your own silence. The world does not need to hear your biography before you have even written a single page of success. Kill the noise before the noise kills the man you were supposed to be. You are not in love with the work, you are addicted to the feeling of being seen. This is not ambition, it is a psychological sickness. You are a validation junkie, crawling through the dirt for the next like, the next nod, the next empty compliment from people who are just as lost as you are. If the world stopped looking at you tomorrow, would your goals die along with their attention? If the answer is yes, then you are not a leader, you are a performer in a circus of your own making. You are currently a slave to the opinions of the masses, and a slave can never build an empire. Stop. Right now. You are listening to the echo of your own vanity and calling it progress. If you do not break this addiction, you will spend your life as a shadow with no substance. No matter how much noise you make, if there are no results, those sounds are just the hollow rattles of a failure. Your mouth is writing checks that your reality cannot cash. When your words are bigger than your bank account, bigger than your discipline, and bigger than your actual impact, you are nothing more than a clown. A jester entertaining the crowd while the real kings work in the shadows. Every time you seek approval before you have produced value, you are stripping yourself of your dignity. You are begging for a participation trophy in a world that only rewards the finish line. You were meant to be a person of substance, a man or woman of weight. But you have chosen to be light as air, floating wherever the wind of public opinion blows you. Respect the grind enough to keep it private. By broadcasting your process, you are inviting the weak to dilute your energy with their pity and their good jobs. You are better than this, but you are shaming your potential by putting it up for auction to the highest bidder of attention. You are currently an empty vessel making the most noise. I command you to feel the sting of your own insignificance. Stop pretending that support is what you need. What you need is the cold, hard reality of your own lack of results. Silence the performer. Starve the ego. If you want to be respected, start by doing something worth respecting in total isolation. True power is not born in the spotlight, it is forged in the absolute void of the darkness. Real strength is a ghost. It is the silent, unyielding, invisible force that builds monuments while the rest of the world is sleeping. You have mistaken silence for weakness, but silence is the highest level of human concentration. Everything of substance in this universe was created in a vacuum of privacy. If you cannot work without a witness, you are not a professional, you are an amateur seeking a stage. You are currently witnessing the birth of your own elite status, but it requires you to disappear. Stop. You are reaching for your phone to tell someone about this change. Don't. If you reveal the secret, the power vanishes. You must become a ghost professional. Let your next move be a mystery even to your closest allies. When your enemies cannot see you, they cannot hit you. When your friends do not know what you are building, they cannot distract you with their limited expectations. Strategic secrecy is the weapon of the dangerous. You are moving from the loud, fragile world of the many into the silent, lethal world of the few. This is where you become a predator of results, a shadow that leaves behind a trail of finished kingdoms. The only thing that should exist in your world right now is the cold, hard reality of the objective. Every drop of sweat that falls when no one is watching is worth 1,000 tears shed in public. Those lonely hours, the midnight focus, the early morning grinds that no one will ever clap for, those are the bricks of an empire that cannot be toppled. You are currently buying your own freedom with the luxury of silence. Silence is not a lack of sound, it is a presence of absolute authority. I am telling you that your hidden greatness is the only greatness that matters. Stop trying to be relatable and start trying to be undeniable. Build your life behind a closed door so thick that the world's noise cannot penetrate it. You do not need an audience to be a master. You need the void. You need the isolation. You need to become the man who does the work because the work is who he is, not because of what it gets him. Embrace the ghost life. Let the world wonder while you conquer. Stop working for the 10,000 spectators who do not know your name. Stop performing for a digital ghost town that will forget you in 100 seconds. From this moment forward, you work for an audience of one. That audience is the version of you that is watching from the future, the one who will either live in the palace of your success or the prison of your regret. Your standards must no longer be dictated by your mouth, but by the ruthless, cold, and unyielding quality of your actions. Stop. You are already thinking about how to explain your new silent face to people. If you explain it, you have already lost it. True sovereignty is the ability to value your own opinion over the collective noise of the planet. You must stop putting your happiness in the mouths of others. Winning in silence is the loudest victory a human being can achieve because it proves you do not need the world to tell you that you are a king to be won. You are currently the architect of a hidden fortress. Every brick you lay in the dark, without a post, without a story, without a tweet, is a brick that the world cannot take away from you. You are rebuilding your identity from the inside out. You are moving away from the fragile, needy, attention-seeking child you were and becoming a stone-cold pillar of internal strength. Look at your hands. These are the only tools you need. Relearn the habit of quiet excellence. Do the work so well that you would be proud of it even if you were the last human being left on earth. When you remove the need for an audience, you remove the possibility of being controlled. You are reclaiming your power from the masses and storing it in your own bones. I command you to raise your internal standard to the level of an elite. If it is not perfect, it is not finished. If it is not your absolute best, it is an insult to your bloodline. You are no longer competing with others, you are competing with the ghost of who you could have been. Build your empire in the silence of the void. Let your discipline be your only witness. I am giving you a direct order: go dark. Shut your mouth and seal the exits. From this second forward, your plans are classified, your progress is invisible, and your ambition is a state secret. You are no longer allowed to speak about what you are going to do. The world does not deserve to know your strategy until they are forced to deal with your results. You must work in the shadows until your success becomes so heavy, so undeniable, that it develops its own gravity. Stop. You are feeling the urge to defend your silence to someone. Kill that urge. If you feel the need to explain yourself, you are still a prisoner of their opinion. You must kill the performer once and for all. The part of you that wants to show off is the part of you that is weak. It is a leak in your soul that drains your discipline. Real work is done for the sake of the objective, not for the sake of the applause. I want you to become obsessed with the process when no one is watching. Your performance must reach its peak in the dark, in the cold, and in the absolute silence of your own focus. You are not a content creator, you are a kingdom builder. And kingdoms are not built on stage, they are built in the mud and the blood of the unseen trenches. Every single word you waste on an explanation is a minute you stole from your execution. Command your potential to rise to the level of your new, ruthless standard. Starting today, start a project that no one knows about. Carry out a task that would make an average person quit, and tell absolutely no one that you did it. Feel the power that comes from keeping your own counsel. Your strength begins the moment you realize you don't need them to believe in you, because you are too busy becoming a force they cannot stop. The vow of silence is not a punishment, it is a weapon of mass psychological warfare. Let them think you gave up. Let them think you are lost. Let them grow comfortable in their mediocrity while you are sharpening your blade in the dark. Execution is your only language now. Results are your only testimony. Go into the void and do not come out until you are a monster of achievement. The age of the loud and the hollow is dead. Look at yourself and realize you have become a shadow that casts a long, terrifying, and permanent light. You have officially achieved the state of the unstoppable ghost. You are no longer a person who tries. You are a person who simply is. The world can no longer predict your moves, it can no longer manipulate your ego, and it can no longer slow you down with its pathetic praise. You have mastered the luxury of silence, and in that silence, you have found a level of power that makes the noise of the masses sound like the buzzing of flies. Stop. This is the moment of final transition. If you feel the need to look back at the people you left behind, realize you are looking at ghosts, and you are the only one who is truly alive. Your foundation is now unshakable because it was built in the void. Most people's success is a house of cards that falls the moment the audience stops clapping. But your empire was forged in the freezing dark where no one's opinion could reach it. You do not waffle when they criticize you, and you do not inflate when they compliment you. You have achieved a state of internal sovereignty that is completely immune to the world's influence. You are the master of your own mental territory, a cold, immovable monument to the truth of action. While the rest of the world is busy begging for attention, you are busy owning the reality they are trying to post about. Your results will now begin to roar on your behalf. You no longer need to explain your worth because your life has become an undeniable fact. You have moved from the noise of the bottom to the absolute quiet of the apex. Even when you are no longer in the room, your presence will be felt through the sheer weight of what you have accomplished. You are the legacy of the unspoken, the king of the unseen, the monster of the finished task. The training is finished. The mask of the performer has been melted down and turned into a crown of steel. You are now an elite force of one. Walk forward with the heavy step of a person who knows exactly who they are. You do not need to hunt for respect anymore. Respect has no choice but to follow you like a shadow. From this breath until your last, your silence is your strength, and your work is your worship. The world is finally quiet enough for you to hear your own greatness. Rule your destiny in absolute silence.